What's up, YouTubers and cinephiles? Welcome back to Nerd With Me Flicks Talk. I'm John Ricky. Justice League, the DC version of Avengers, or rather, Avengers in the comic book world is actually the Marvel version of Justice League. They did it because DC did it first. In its opening weekend, it made only $92 million. Now, that's crazy when you think about it. I mean, say $92 million and it's a failure. I mean, shoot, any other movie would love to get that. Like, you know, Murder on the Orient Express would love to get that type of first weekend box office. But we're talking about Justice League, a $300 million film. Wow! Now, there are two things that are wrong with that. First, the fact that a movie that cost $300 million and was released only made back about a third of its own budget. That is really bad for a first week, especially in this day and age of film going where everyone goes to the premiere night or premiere weekend, and then there's a significant drop off in the following weekend, more than likely 50% plus or minus. But unfortunately, also for the fact that you can't help but compare it to Marvel. And this is not me being a Marvel fanboy, actually it's quite the opposite. I was a DC fanboy when I was really into comics, to be honest. But I just like good movies, not just want a good movie. But the fact that Avengers 1 and 2, both of them, their opening weekends were 200 plus million, or just under 200 million. That was the threshold. Justice League came in at just under $100 million. That's atrocious. It's Justice League. Everyone should have been foaming at the mouth for this film. I mean, everyone's been waiting 50, 60, 70 years to see the Justice League put on film. Justice League should have been no question that it's going to reach $1 billion, if not two. I mean, look at what Avengers did, and to me, I knew Justice League way more than I know Avengers, to be honest. How could it fail? Anyway, that's not the half of it. You know, the money, obviously, this is a result of a whole bunch of things, including all the controversies and news that has been coming with this production of Justice League. You know, with the whole changing of the directors, you know, I mean, something you really couldn't foresee with Zack Snyder's situation. You couldn't really foresee that. But the way it was handled is just like, wait, why did you do that? You really should go back to the drawing board and everything. From that to the mustache fiasco, which is like, really, why didn't you just let him have a goatee? Have it be like, oh, you know, Superman was dead, but you know, he was actually recharging. And the fact that you put this mandate on how long the film should be, when really the film should be as long as it needs to be. And watching the film, the finished product, it feels like you cut corners. But let's get down to brass tacks. Justice League is the epitome of what Warner Brothers is trying to do, and ultimately failing at every turn, almost every turn. Wonder Woman was great. It was a very good put together film. Man of Steel is really good, even though it is divisive. I enjoyed it personally. My buddy Ashton, who edited this video, he feels differently about it, but he's a Superman, Christopher Reeve's purist. Should have given Josh Whedon a lot more time to work with what he had, because 6 months for a movie like this, that's not enough time. You should have pushed it back to 2018. It would have been a better movie, more cohesive, even though it still is very much more cohesive than Batman vs. Superman. Ugh. I mean, look, Thor Ragnarok. Thor, who in my opinion and a lot of other people's opinion, out of all the Marvel movies, Thor's trilogy has been the weakest. Thor's films have been the weakest, even though they had a great villain in Loki, or anti-hero slash villain in Loki. And Chris Hemsworth and everyone else that's been involved is really good. But the stories have been okay until Thor Ragnarok. And it's killing Justice League, which should be a $2 billion, $3 billion box office film. But why did it happen? I'll tell you why. there was no semblance of characters. There was no build up for Justice League. Really? I mean, that's all that Marvel's been doing since 2008 with Iron Man. You got to know these characters. You have a set goal, or at least a semblance of an idea of where this Marvel universe is going. But the thing is, they let their movies be standalones, just with little snippets at the end. That's the difference. Whereas, unfortunately, what DC and Warner Brothers has been doing is ham-fisting that, oh, hey, this big storyline's going to be hinted at, and then it goes. Then this is going to happen, and that's going to happen, and nothing comes of it because a situation like this happens. The stories are not told cohesively. Suicide Squad was a mess story-wise, but every character in there was pretty damn good. But notice that with every DC release, the returns on the opening box office have decreased. I mean, Man of Steel made whatever 97 million, but that was back when they were starting in the opening week. Batman vs Superman made 166 million. Suicide Squad 133 million. And now we have Justice League and it's 93. That's not a good look. So Warner Brothers, DC, I have a suggestion. Now, you had a good idea when you first started with Man of Steel, and then leading into one of the best comic book storyline arcs with Batman vs Superman with the movie, at least in concept, of a reaction to what happened with the first Man of Steel. That was good. I'm like, okay, we can go with this. And then here we are. But hey, here's my suggestion, Warner Brothers. Come close, come on, closer. Here's what you do. You soft reboot the DCEU. And here's how you do it. First things first, get your own Kevin Feige. Whoever it may be it Jeff Johns, I mean, he worked in DC. Come on, man. Him or anyone from the animation portion, of Warner Brothers, because they obviously know what they're doing when it comes to Justice League and Batman and everything else. They got that on lock. Or you can ask Rusum Tusum, that is giving you a suggestion right now. John Ricky here, and Ash, who does the editing. Just saying, just putting that out there. But anyway, get someone like that, Kevin Tsujihara, like, let him handle the independent properties, you know, and I don't mean like independent movies, I'm just saying like the main movies, like stuff outside of the DCEU. He really doesn't need to take care of that. Take care of the Town movies, or Live by Nights, or what have you. Fantastic Beasts franchise, I mean, that'd be your cash cow for the next few years. They're all good. But after you do that, take a year, take 6 months to a year to hash out the next 5 years. Dump everything that's just in a development stage or is maybe about to shoot. Let some of those go. Like Aquaman, you can keep, because Jason Momoa was amazing. Wonder Woman 2, that's if it's based in present day, I say scrap it. But if it's based in Cold War, I don't know what the situation is with that. If it's in Cold War era, keep it going, let that go and bring it out, because that's your cash cow right now. She'll get you through. You don't really need to change Gal Gadot or anything like that. And the way you can do all this, you already have that ace in the hole. Or Shazam, if that's in like its own pocket universe, yeah, leave that there. But all these other movies, like the Gotham City Sirens, the 3 that you guys are throwing around and developing, the 2 or 7 Joker movies that you're trying to come up with, scratch those. Nobody wants to see a Joker origin story, okay? That's what makes a Joker awesome. You don't know what the hell he is. And if you're gonna do a Harley Quinn movie, the only Harley Quinn movie I want to see is a Bonnie and Clyde style, you know, Harley and Joker movie with Batman as the sheriff in Gotham, basically. I mean, the cast that you have in Justice League is perfect as they are. you got to get around this Batman thing. I mean, it seems very apparent that Ben Affleck wants out of Batman. What better way to have him segue out than to have Flash movie? That's the one you need to fast track right now. Get Robert Zemeckis on the phone, do a Back to the Future type of storyline with Flashpoint. That's what you need to do. He goes back, saves his mother, it causes a ripple effect, maybe 20 years before the events of Suicide Squad and Man of Steel, and it rewrites it so you can cast whoever you want as Batman in the new Batman Matt Reeves trilogy that's supposed to go out. But that's your ace in the hole, Flash. I mean, he's the perfect rewrite eraser. He's the magic eraser. So you can rewrite this, get away from the fact that you used Doomsday storyline, which should have been like your phase 1 or phase 2 of the DCEU. That should have been a major storyline. Should have been Brainiac, such and such. But that's for another time. But Flash is your key. Ezra Miller is amazing, and keep him. Do Flash, have him be the one that knows everything, and everyone else is just like, oh, okay, well, that happened. But yeah, you start off with, you get Wonder Woman, Aquaman 1, and the Flash movie. That should be the end right now. So from then on, you can restart it. Don't do any origin movies unless it's for people that we don't know. Like, you can do a Cyborg origin movie, even though you explained it pretty good in that one. You can do the Green Lantern Corps movie based off of this new timeline. And you know what? The audience will forgive you. Just take your time with each story so you can have solid films. That's what everyone's really angry about, is the fact that you guys are not taking your time to develop these characters and really make them endearing to us enough to where we get to Justice League and we're like, yes, we want to see them come together. That's what you're missing. So yes, that's how I see it. You could have Wonder Woman sitting so far in the past in World War I. You can keep that as it is. But everything else you can rewrite. You can rewrite Man of Steel. You can rewrite, you know, Batman vs. Superman. Really build up to Batman vs. Superman. And Justice League, the villain should have been Brainiac. It would have been great if Justice League was Brainiac rather than Steppenwolf and Darkseid. Steppenwolf and Darkseid could come in at Justice League or 2 and 3, but 1 could have been connected to Man of Steel with the whole mothership going down that would belong to Zod. Maybe something became sentient and that became Brainiac. That's how I would have done it. But anyway, Warner Brothers, hear me. Check that out. You guys should really just shut down a lot of the production. Take 6 months to hash out a solid plan instead of reacting to everything that's happening. Have a thorough plan that you are sticking by for the next 5 movies. That's what should happen, my friend. Anyway, YouTubers, Cinephiles, Warner Brothers extraordinaire, hope you like my comments and ideas. And hey, Warner Brothers, I am available. Me and my buddy are available. Holler at us, and we hope to hear from you soon. Anyway, YouTubers and Cinephiles, I hope you enjoyed this video today. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share among your friends.